Here we are in Unit 1, Activity 2, Question 5. It asks us to move on to slide 1.5. So we were right here in slide 1.4, probably looking something like this on your screen. And you need to click on the blue arrow to bring up slide 1.5. Let's go back after we've done that and read what it's asking us to do. It says, it's a split screen displaying two different histograms that were created from the same data set. So it's important to realize that the number of students and their number of shoes is exactly the same here as it is here. The only thing that's changed is the frequency. So notice it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. But here it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one gets all the way to 10 on the y-axis that's visible to us. This one only gets to 6 on the y-axis that's visible to us. So that's the only difference between these two data sets. So let's come back here. It says compare and contrast the histograms. So quite simply, what do you see that's the same? That's the comparison. And then in the contrast, what's different? So compare means to say what's the same about these two histograms. To contrast them means to say what's different about them. Both of those need to be put in your answer for 5.A. Part B says using either histogram, can you tell if any girl owned 54 pairs of shoes? Explain how you know. All right, let's just take the top for example. So I know that this one starts off at 48 and goes up to, but does not include 53. Well, which obviously doesn't include 54. So I'm thinking there's no one that has that, since there's no blue mark that's visible to me. Here though, I come down here and I look, and the interval is from 51 up to but not including 56, and there's only 1 point. Well, I'm happy to guess that since these are the same data sets and there's none that are above 53, even though this one has one that's within the interval, I don't believe it is, because this maxed out at 53 and there wasn't anything after it, which would need to be there if there was a person with 54 pairs of shoes. So, in part C, which display would you use if you were a girl arguing that you had to have more shoes because most other girls had a lot? So what I'm thinking, if I had to pick one of these, so which shoe would which histogram would I use if I wanted to argue that you had or I had to have more shoes? I'd probably use, let's say that I were using this one here, and I were down in here. I might want to show that all these people have, in this one, have anywhere between 8 and 13 pair of shoes. There's 9 people that have that, and so maybe I would say that it's unfair because I was in the group that had 3 to 8, and I wanted to catch up with them. That might be an argument. Let me see if I miss anything. Which one would you use if you were arguing that most girls did not have many pair of shoes? Explain your reason in both cases. So if I were arguing that most of the girls did not have, I'd probably try to use this one because it looks more equitable, and largely because the height, the frequency looks more similar. That might be one reason that I would want to use this one. What is the total area of the bins in the density histogram? Explain your answer. Okay, let's go ahead and here. Looks like for this one, I'm going to come back here for density. I'm not sure why it didn't tell us to move back to 1.5. Or 1.4, but anyway, I'm going to use 1.4 since this is our density. And essentially, I'm going to do what I did earlier when I added up the percentages. So I'm going to come here and I have a density of 0.0870. So I'm going to come over here to my scratch pad. I'm going to delete these. And and I'm going to write down the number that was there when I did my first density, which I believe was 870. I'm going to confirm that though before I move on. Oops. So I'm going to escape from that. I'm going to hover over this blue bar, and it is 0.0870, so that's good. I'm going to come down here. This one is 0.0435. Etc. And you're going to keep adding all the numbers up for each of these histogram bars. So just move it over. Notice these are the same here, and these are the same too. You're going to indicate those twice. And write that answer down. Put all those responses, all those answers to question 5 in your response to my post.